everybody. It's Joe again. I'm once again inspired, eager to share with you guys. After a bit of a break, I've had a bit of a surge. So, I'm here in the afternoon times in my tent, allowing myself to sleep and wake whenever I choose, which is one of the beautiful luxuries of my lifestyle. And I've been creating a wonderful affirmation that I call the empath's prayer. I plan to offer resources for all types of people, including empaths, on my website, joeneely.net. However, the prayer isn't done. I discovered something fascinating while I was creating it, and I had to share it with you guys. One of the things I love to share on this video series is all the practical everyday wisdom that helps us out. Those things that make us 1% more knowledgeable in the ways of the divine, in the ways of combining spirit and higher dimensions and vibrations with the world we live in. And there's this intersection between flights of fancy and imagination and practical math and laws of physics. There's this, I think the word is numinous, or no, liminal. That's it. There's a liminal boundary between the real and the unreal. For some of us, the spiritual world is more real than the illusion of physical matter. For some of us, physical matter is real and everything else is mere speculation. But I love to live at that liminal boundary where one informs the other. My friends at the Center for Spiritual Living in Asheville, they use the wonders of string theory, particle wave theory, all that kind of stuff, quantum physics. They use the wonders of that as a bridge between what we can prove and what we can't. Those boundaries. And I really feel a gratitude for not taking sides, in which side of that might be right or wrong. Very grateful never to do that. I live in an agnostic beauty where I don't judge what I see one way or the other as true or false. I love what we know about this physical reality, what we've learned to do, and I love what we don't know about our existence. There's some things that maybe can't be proven. There's other things that in a few hundred years we'll be able to prove. There's some things we can understand and prove today. Other things we've known for a long time. There's things that we feel to be true, whether or not they are. Some of the things we feel to be true, we place in the realm of another dimension or another reality or of another universe, in a heaven or a hell, because we know them to be true, and we know them so strongly, and we feel them so strongly that whether they match up or suit this physical reality doesn't matter. They exist anyway. They are true for us in our hearts. So I love all those things. Anyway, I was working on the empath's prayer and I discovered how beautiful breathing is. I've heard so many people talk about breathing. It's a big part of meditation, it's a big part of a lot of yoga, and for some it's this pathway to enlightenment. And I don't know that it's ever been that for me. It feels so good to release things from my throat chakra. Something I did recently with my friend Dr. John Waterhouse, and something I want to continue throughout my journey. I had a wonderful experience with him releasing. He calls it energy conversion, in which I was able to release energies, and he was able to release them to the universe, almost as a surrogate, when it's difficult for us to just release them directly to the universe. Of course, we have that available to us at all times. It does help to do it with other people. Have you noticed the light has changed? The mid-afternoon sun has come over the trees, and now it's given me this wonderful shadow painting. Woo. More release. Thank you for abiding with me while I tangent on my videos and while I release things, because in every one of these videos I have something to share. I have the reason I hit the record button. And that pulls me through many side issues that are valuable to you, that may be more valuable insights or opportunities to you than the thing I'm actually trying to get across. But I know that something deep in my heart happened that made me hit this button. I don't hit that video record button out of obligation like I used to, when I wanted to every day provide you with a video. It gave you an insight into my travels, my spiritual travels, not just my physical travels. It gave you an insight into my process. But I want to only hit that button when I feel it the most. And sometimes I'll take long breaks. Could be months. And sometimes I'll give you a lot all at once. But it's most important to me to do everything when I feel it the most. I have created a lifestyle in which I could do that. I've created a way of making money, supporting myself in this physical reality, so I can work when I feel it the most. I can not work when I feel other things more. And that is a blessing and a privilege, and I'm so glad that I created it for myself. It allows me to do music when I feel it, and not out of obligation. It allows me to keep music sacred. I'm very grateful for that as well. So, I feel that my tangents also help me to release as I'm doing. They help me to just not force anything, not feel that I need to be in a rush. I'm sure that as a young person I felt rushed, because when I feel unrushed nowadays, when I do things in their own time, it feels so good. So that must be part of my story. I love traveling by bicycle, which is a slow way of travel. Sometimes I feel the desire to speed up that mode of travel, to add some kind of motor to my rig. And maybe I will, who knows. But I love living and traveling slowly. taking the time to do something right, to do something all the way, to put my whole heart into something, even if that means taking an hour out of my day or more, even if that means putting other things to the side for the moment. I really enjoy letting go of the sense that we have to move quickly to survive. It's what it is. It's fear of death. It's fear that if we don't move quickly, push ourselves too hard, give more energy than we have, overwhelm ourselves, make ourselves sick and unhealthy and unpleasant to be around, and hurt ourselves and others. If we don't do all those horrible things, we believe we can't survive in this world. This world is horrible, and we are slaves, and the rich people have all the money and they're forcing us to work too hard. That's what a lot of people believe. That's what I used to believe. Not consciously. I would have rejected it consciously. I am that strong, but I did pick up attitudes that meant the same things. I picked up attitudes that meant pain and suffering and something on that sliding scale of slavery. What we call slavery is people who are forced to work and have, very, very little rights. Though I'm sure people in those situations find a way to express what they believe to be their rights and their dignity and their fullness. Those people that have created a incredibly difficult existence for themselves. Maybe some people start out life that way to rise up. I have no desire to do that or to create that reality for other people, but I honor people in that reality and in all the different sliding scales that exist from there to fullness. And I strive to help the people, rich and poor, who are stuck in unhappiness and have difficulty reaching the fullness of who they are. For many of us, we're somewhere between fullness of wealth, fullness of self-expression, and a very limited life where we believe ourselves to be peasants in a hierarchy that cannot be changed. That we must live the lives we don't want so that other people can live the lives that they want. And that just isn't true. So, as I said, I live on that liminal boundary between the woo-woo and the overly limiting math and science world, the overly limiting social status world. Where I like to be are the places where the one informs the other, because that's where we really grow. We grow at the boundaries, we grow at the edges. We use nuts and bolts spiritual techniques, we use attitudes, we use practices. We test them out in our own lives, if not the laboratory, to see how they work for us. Sunlight feels good. It's a bit of a challenge. It's a bit warm on me, but it feels good. I'm going to duck into some shade here so I can finish this thought with you. And that is that I love you guys, and I want you guys to know what I've learned. And today, like I said, it's about breathing. That thought and everything it opens up has brought me on such wonderful tangents. But as I like to do with these videos, I come back to that place. I come back to the spot I began. I come back to the reason I started, recording. When I breathe, feels good. I'm engaging with my body more fully. I'm feeling the effect my breathing has on my body. As I expand my lungs, the different organs in my body move. The yogis say that it moves an astounding distance. Some organs move a great distance as they move out of the way of the air. My ribcage moves some, but it is made out of more rigid cartilage and bones and ligaments and things. My belly moves more because that's what it's made to do. My ribcage, of course, protects my heart and lungs, my very most vital organs. Those I can't live without even for a short time. My belly was once protected by legs and hips as a four-legged animal. And as we humans became two-legged animals, we became vulnerable. And belly is a place where we keep emotions of vulnerability. When we feel vulnerable, we feel that need to hunch over and protect our vulnerable bellies. We feel the need to protect even our heart and lungs that are protected by a rib cage. It's one of the reasons why hunching over, working at a desk, can exacerbate those feelings of fear. So, we work practically with them with our breath. I love to work with my breath because it keys me into proprioception, my sense of self, the sense of where my limbs are in space. Even if I closed my eye, I would know if my arm or my leg was lifted up or down. I know where my body is in space. Something we learn as little children, right? We learn how to use a body, how to walk. As our body grows more functional, we quickly learn how to use it. And I can touch my nose in the dark. There it is. There's my nose. I know where it is. That's something we learn as children. But we also get this astounding amount of data, of subtle data. And that's part of the empath's prayer, is opening up, accepting subtle data. Also, it feels so good to be inside my body. Also, I discovered something special about breathing that made me see it a little more the way the yogis and the meditators talk about it. I consider it exploration and release. Doing it right now. Let me explain it to you. Now I can feel it. I feel body parts moving and stretching. I feel muscular tension that I can choose to release. I can breathe through muscular tension. just like I would if I was stretching some body part. As I do it, my edge, my threshold moves away. I experience more flexibility within, just as I would with stretching my limbs and my torso, my neck and my shoulders in a yoga setting. And as I create a little bit of space, I don't need a lot, but a little bit of space for my breath by internally stretching those muscles, stretching through muscular tension and the emotional pain, which is the reason it's there. Thanks again to John Waterhouse, because this is a lot of what was happening during our session a couple days ago. Feels so good. Part of that good feeling is that tingling feeling we get when we're stretching and we open up blood flow, when our foot falls asleep and then we bring blood flow to it, and then all of a sudden it tingles with nerve endings coming online. Feeling that, maybe as a second step beyond physical stretching and openness. I feel it now in my arms and my hands. Hands is often a place to feel nerve endings because we have so many nerve endings in our hands. As creatures who manipulate our environment to the extent that we do, we have lots of nerve endings in our hands and other body parts. We have them, if I remember correctly, in our genitals, in our heads, in our faces, in the sense organs that we use to experience the world. In our sex organs, of course, we experience sensory inputs that let us know if the person that we're with is the right one for us. If this is really the path that we want to go down, and if it is, we use those organs to key in with that person on a very subtle level. As you know, I love sacred sexuality, and I know that keying in with a person sexually can mean a lot. Not just the creation of, a creature inside another person, or allowing someone to create a creature within us. Not just the possibility of that happening. Not just increasing that possibility by bonding with someone first. Imprinting upon someone for the safety of potential children. But there's something that goes well beyond that, a spiritual bonding that is very sacred to the whole idea of life. The whole idea of life that reproduces with two. And there's a way that the two become one, not just in sending a creature on down the genetic timeline, but in the very moment, in right now, the two can become one. So, there's so much to be learned from, like I said, this tingling feeling. And what I want you to do is close your eyes like I'm doing if it helps. If not, do what works for you. But go inside your body and feel that tingle of blood flow going to all of your body because you've taken the time to move slowly. Close your eyes, go into your body, give yourself this time to really feel everything. Feel all the sensory data that's coming into you. In the empath's prayer, I speak about how beautiful these moments of fullness, of feeling everything, really are for us. Yes, we can erase and release emotional boundaries, emotional attachments to physical limitations we can release, to become more physically healthy, to become more mentally healthy. But take a minute to see what's beyond that. feel that tingling sensation of new blood flow, of nerve cells coming online. What that is activation of your body. Places that you usually don't allow healthy blood and oxygen and love to flow. And feel that flowing and feel happy. Feel that, feel good. And know new insights. Allow more information to come to you. Information that you might block out in fear when all your focus is on physical health, on survival. But let that go. Breathe through those physical limitations. Heal those parts of you that when you were in survival you set aside. Let your emotional health and mental health matter. Heal all that up so you can learn from your survival experiences. They're valuable. Don't set them completely aside, but balance them with the rest of your reality. Learn from them, accept them, release them whenever they're painful, and learn from your physical situation, learn from your mental and emotional strife, and feel deep within you the tingling of new things coming online. When you breathe in, when you breathe inward, look at it as an adventure. Look at it as exploration. Look at it as joy. Feel the so good feelings of going into your body. For me, I view these as little sparkly shapes. Dark things turning into pinpoints of light, much like glittery shapes. Like little round pieces of glitter that might reflect the darkness if they turn in a different direction, but if they turn towards me and my light, they show a little speck of more light. I'm exploring these little sparkles of light, these little tingles within me. Beyond even that tingly feeling of your body coming online, of yourself accepting more data into your mind, beyond all that, feel simply a joy of exploration. You can wrap whatever visualizations you need to around it. I like glittery silver sparkles, but you can have whatever works for you, whatever arises for you. In this space, I feel inhales as exploration. When I inhale, I unlock and open up all kinds of dormant things that were just waiting for me. Wonderful things within my body. A light, a wonder, a joy. An acceptance of things that I have not yet unlocked. I accept physical and emotional pain that I haven't yet unlocked. I don't have to unlock it all today. In my one mushroom trip in Amsterdam long ago, I actually had a second that didn't take very well because the mushrooms were so dried out and old. Maybe only a hint of that full experience that I had long ago. But in that experience, I learned to explore my body and love it and experience the joy of sliding like a roller coaster through all of the data, that streams at you. Think about all the radio and TV and podcasts and Netflix or whatever streams at us all the time, and we can only choose one little channel, one experience. You know, over time we can broaden that experience. We can release the emotional limits that, when they're gone, will only open up more and more and more to us. When we breathe, we can stretch out from the inside. We can challenge those limits. We can release muscular tension and the emotional and mental structures that we don't need anymore that live there. But today, you still have some. Otherwise, you wouldn't live. You still have some beautiful, easy to open up channels into your inspiration, into joy. Even if your lungs are wounded through illness or addiction, you can still breathe. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. You can still feel the simple joy of stretching your body from the inside, of feeling the joy and pain of life. Yes, you can have more joy and less pain, but whatever amount of joy you have today, you can experience it. You can just live in that for a moment. Accept and breathe through the limitations that you have on your lungs, on your muscles, the chest and even back and shoulder muscles that engage when we breathe. The vulnerability, the openness of belly muscles that trust we're not going to be attacked and can open up and allow things to move. Through all of that, feel the joy of exploration. When you breathe into not the pain, not the limitations, but when you breathe into the pure joy, that pure white and silver joy that lives within you, you find new little cracks in the armor of your limitations. Loads of quicksilver, of mithril, as they call it, cracks into this silver that is light. It may be in your neck, your back, your arm, your chest. I'm feeling it in little different places, just a little more opening up. And there's nothing like that joy of opening up a new place, of new exploration, of new adventure, whether it's within your body, whether it's traveling to a new place or seeing a new place in your city that you've never seen before. You might travel a region of the country like I do. You might travel through your city. You might travel through your social circles. You might just travel through your body as you lay there on your sickbed or deathbed, only able to have a limited interaction with the physical world. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What matters is the joy of exploration. Whether you do it by yourself, with a friend, whether you do it with a tree or a sacred lover, however you explore other people, allow that joy into your life. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than the simple exercise that I'm giving you now, after all the foreplay and all the experiential learning. I'm giving you the tiny bit of conscious knowledge. Our consciousness is the tip of the iceberg. Use it, love it, don't block it out. Our consciousness, even our ego, is a healthy part of us when done in balance with everything else. I have an ego. I want to make money. I want to have attractive mates. I want to have lots of friends. I want to have social status. these things are all healthy when done in balance with everything else, with love and spiritual growth and exploration. Those things are part of a whole package of joy in our life. Don't block them out. Just have them in moderation with everything else. And for many of us, this silver white, wonderful joy of exploring just a little bit more in our minds and our bodies, which are really one thing, which are really connected. Just allowing that joy of expansion. Using our lungs and our physical limitations as just a metaphor for those silver loads of light that come through. It's astounding. It's so wonderful. We open up more and more. And there's always more to explore. The journey never ends. There's always new sensations that open us up to new realizations. When we go into our breathing, our physical body, our emotional and physical health, when we breathe through our limitations, yes, we can work with them. Yes, we can have less limitations. But today we still have some of us that isn't limited. We still have some of us that is strong. And we can live in that. We don't have to challenge our limitations all the time and be some spiritual hero. That just creates a new mindfuck for us to deal with. What I want you to do is simply live in the joy that you have and expand that by seeing those little cracks in the limitations and seeing your way through them. You don't have to defeat them today. Just go past them and see all these places where you can naturally just grow into them, the way a tree root grows into the ground. So, when you breathe in, feel exploration, feel insight, feel all of these wonderful things that I've taken so much time to express. And hopefully you could even use this video as something as a, something as a combination between a lesson and a group guided meditation. I've done a bit of both. Sometimes in this video you'll have to go conscious with me and think about what I'm thinking about as I'm learning to express it to you. But sometimes, as I've gone through this video, it's been simple love and breathing, and you can breathe with me and you can breathe as yourself. And you can just feel it. Heck, even pause the video whenever you need more time to process things mentally or to breathe more. But the simple conscious thought, which is maybe just a few words that I've waited this long to express because I wanted you and me to feel everything else first. Here it is. When you breathe in, feel those tingles, feel those wonderful, wonderful feelings, and explore, find new lands, find new loads of silver, find new places for your tree roots to dig deeper and drink the wonderful, beautiful silver water of light. And then release the breath. The trick is this. When you release, you keep all of the exploration, all of the adventures, all of the new insights. They don't go away. That is the trick that leads to a positive spiral that leads to momentum. When you go into your exploration with your breath and then you release your breath, you don't lose it. You don't lose the memory of that new place, of that new journey, of that new excitement. Those stay with you forever. And you can access them for wisdom, you can access them for health, you can access them for physical, mental, emotional healing. And you can always go right back to that place. You don't have to find it again. It's already there. You can find it as you inhale so easily and go right past it in the next breath. to even more wonders. You can ask beautiful questions, receive beautiful answers in the moment that you ask those beautiful questions, and then learn how to ask another beautiful question. You can have the wonder of life at any moment that you choose to sit and have it. And by sit, I mean sit, lie down, walk around, do whatever kind of meditative experiences you like, solo, with a tree, as John Waterhouse suggested to be, with any kind of living creature, with a stone, with any kind of physical object. You can bless the physical objects and people that you see throughout your day, and you can have it with each other. Please, whether it's in a sexual, romantic, friendly, acquaintance, lifelong partnership, buddies, bros and sisters, whatever frame you put around the level of intimacy that you're comfortable with a person and people in general. However you frame it, just do it. Go to this place in whatever experience you have, whether that's meditating in a cave, on a fast, or whether that's in a large group of people, feeling the energy of all of your people, all of your peers together. Whether it's with animals, creatures, inanimate objects, physical expressions of the divine that simply allow us to, work with them, chop them, the stones that allow us to chop them into, blocks for our homes. Whatever you're working with, whatever is in your reality, or whomever is in your reality, doesn't matter. Use it in your way. Whether your way is working with partners, whether it's working with new people, whether it's creating long distance or short distance, long-term or short-term relationships, whether it's animals, objects, groups of people, or all by yourself. Whatever works for you, do it. And explore all the other options, because you never know where you might be surprised. You might find a new niche that you want to go down full bore. You might find a lesson from something you don't want to continue with that informs the thing that you do want to do. But inhale the joy of expansion. Infinity isn't infinity unless it expands, and infinity is you. Wow, I've come full circle. Much gratitude not just to John Waterhouse for a wonderful session a couple days ago, but also to Barbara Waterhouse, who gave me such a beautiful, beautiful love and light. I've admired her as a leader for a couple years now, and am very, very grateful to have spoken with her one-on-one when she's not being a leader, when she's simply being herself, relaxing and enjoying her day in her home. And I'm so grateful to her for allowing me to be in her home for a little while and to see her as she really is when she is not working with groups, when she was just being with me for a moment, and I'm very grateful to her. That being said, all of you, please go to the Center for Spiritual Living Asheville website and check out Barbara's lessons that stream video online. You can also check out the Celebrations of Life, which is a Sunday morning event that feels a lot like church and has all the funny things that church meetings have, but presents a nugget of really great wisdom. You could check out all those videos, but I really recommend the classes. Barbara is really a one-of-a-kind speaker and teacher, and the way she presents to people at celebrations is pretty amazing. But I really recommend the classes. She's quite a teacher. Pardon me, I don't know what else to say. She and John offer something wonderful to the Asheville community. And it's one of the many, many routes that you can check out on your path. So, there it is. Got a little bit of saliva going on back there. And it's time to go. I'm certainly warming up here in my tent. I'm sweating quite a bit, but that's secondary to getting this message out to you guys. I'm going to go rest my voice and go out there to the world and be with some people. So, I'm going to go bless everything in my path, everyone in my path. And I hope that you will do the same. Come visit me at joeneely.net and on social media. Just search Joe Neely and you'll find me. I love you all very much. Bye-bye.